It's a number that's not hard to quantify on paper. However, it's kind of hard to imagine it in your mind. 1 million. Now, try to imagine a million meals. That's a lot of food. That's a lot of plates. That's a whole lot of satisfied appetites. But you know what? It has happened. And it's happened at a very important resource for our community. With us this afternoon, I would like to introduce to you the Executive Director of HALO, Hope and Life Outreach. This is Celeste Savage. And along with you, Celeste, we've got a very special person here, a man who is in charge of all the food, Dale Gibbs. What we're talking about is money, and that's an important thing here. But first off, we're talking about 1 million meals.
It was a fantastic day. Let me tell you, it's hard to believe that it's happened.
This was your baby from the get-go.
Yeah.
The entire HALO idea.
And we started it we started with Fill My Cup, which was a Easter dinner that we did on Callaway Street, and had about 40 show up. And then we went on into HOTS and started feeding out of the back of the van, and I can tell you, had no idea. 1 million.
1 million.
But it happened.
So Dale, tell us what you do at HALO.
Well, I oversee the whole food service department. I do the menu making, schedule the volunteers.
Yeah.
Try to get donations in to the cafeteria. So that's pretty much what I do.
So this happened back on Wednesday the 18th.
Yes.
And it was the 14th person in.
Yes.
What was that like for you?
It was awesome, and the guest that received it was ecstatic about it. She was smiling and very receptive of receiving the 1,000,000th meal.
So what does that mean? That was, hey, congratulations, you got the 1,000,000th meal, or was there something that went along with it?
We took pictures, and there was balloons, there was a celebration, a prayer that went on.
So
yeah.
That's a pretty important part of the reaction.
Yeah, it was pretty neat to see the people lining up outside the door. You know, they do this every night. And the big part is we just were not sure when this was going to happen. And so about every hour or so, it seemed like I was calling Dale, okay, how many do we have for breakfast? Okay, how many's come in for lunch so far? And that day we had like 83 people for lunch. So all they needed was 14 more people, and it would have been a lunch celebration. So it was kind of challenging, but it was exciting. And the people clapped, they were excited. You know,
it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
So volunteers are an important part of what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. And what was really cool that night was one of the ladies, Darlene, went with us on HOTS. So she had been with me for a long time.
Yeah.
And
she was Dale. The group's been in there.
Miss Darlene's group's been in there since the very beginning. Since HALO started in the kitchen area. She actually started with her handing out the HOTS out of the van.
Is that right?
It just so happened to be that the 1,000,000th meal fell on her night to serve. So.
Yeah, that was so amazing. And it meant so much. I mean, she was just thrilled to death about that.
That is terrific. That is fantastic. It really was.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. I misspoke earlier. I said the word money. I didn't mean to. But money is an important thing when it comes to donations to support HALO. What's an important donation to you?
Well, obviously, financial support. That's the only way that we can, really keep things really running the way they need to run there, with all the costs and expenses that are involved. But we also take the in-kind donations. I think Dale mentioned that, where if they want to bring in non-perishables or whatever, or they want to bring in meats, all they have to do is call into the office, talk with Dale, or go on our website. We have a list of what we need to do at haloministry.org. That's all they have to go on.
I'll tell you what, there's so much more that I want to talk to you about, but I'm running out of time. Let me ask you real quick about your garden.
Okay.
Tell me about that.
Well, this year, our Journey of Hope guests are learning how to have a garden so that when they leave HALO, they'll be able to have their own little garden. And I encourage the whole community to ride by down Eastern Shore Drive and take a look. They are very proud of this garden. It's absolutely beautiful. And they're picking their vegetables. And in fact, got enough squash and zucchini that we're having it Thursday night. So,
okay. There we go. It sounds fantastic. Dale, Celeste, thank you so much for everything you do and the lives that you impact and change.
Thank you so much for having us, Jim. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Wonderful talking to you.